So we are shifting. The planet is shifting. There's possibly a new Earth happening. What do you know about that? Let me know in the comments. I'm Rebecca Abraxas, and we're here remembering our greatness. And today I wanted to talk about two things that show that you are ready for the shift. Whatever that shift is for you, if you want to vibrate high, if you want to be positive, you want to work with the law of vibration and attraction, if you're really wanting to help ascend the planet and create a new earth, wherever you are on that spectrum, that shift requires two really important things from you. And you'll know you're ready to shift if you're willing to really take a look at these two things and really take action on these two things. So the first thing I want to mention, some people might be curious, is I have videos on the uncapping of the chakras, and I will get to the seventh one, the last one, in a few videos from now. And I will also be putting all the chakra sounds together to uncap them to make it into a long meditation for this channel for you to enjoy. So that's coming up in the next few weeks. All right, beautiful beings. So let me know in the comments, do you feel like you are shifting? Are you on your awakening journey? Do you feel like you're shifting to the new earth? Do you feel like you're raising your frequency to a different dimension of consciousness? If you feel like you already are, then you are already doing these two things. If you feel like you're on the edge and precipice of expanding and going from awakening to ascension, and you feel like you're just getting into your awakening journey as well, so if you're on those trajectories, these two things are going to be really important to work on voraciously. Okay, what are these two things? These two things are, one, fear. Your fear paradigm. Beautiful being, you are an infinite being, creator force of the universe. You have created a fear paradigm. Guess what? You're that powerful to create that fear paradigm. You can create something else over here. So what can you create that's the opposite of fear? Trust. So we start popping the bubble of our fear paradigm by trusting the flow of life, trusting ourselves as creators. So start coming over here more and trusting yourself, trusting the universe, trusting life, and shrink this bubble and grow this bubble. So that's number one. If you're willing to shrink the fear and grow the trust, you are on your way to shifting into the new earth, or to raise your frequency to another paradigm or dimension of consciousness. Okay, so the second one is, what did I write down? Oh, forgiveness. Forgiveness. Are you willing to cut the cords and forgive, no matter what? No matter what the circumstance, no matter what someone did to you, for you, as you, whatever it is, are you willing to forgive them? This is huge. A lot of people aren't. I think if you're on this video that you're thinking about it, or you already have, or you're like, yeah, forgiveness. Forgiveness is key, because forgiveness says basically you're making the choice to cut the cords and to shift a paradigm and to no longer have karma and contracts with that person. So if you're willing to forgive them, cut the energy and cut the contract, that means you're releasing karma. You cannot head into a new earth and raise your frequency into new dimensions unless you are willing to cut the karmic ties. And that starts with forgiveness. So let me know in the comments, is forgiveness a tough one for you? And maybe we'll do a video on that. How does forgiveness get easier? Let me know where you are in relationship to your karma. Do you feel like you still have a lot of karma? Do you feel like you've resolved the karma? Do you even believe in karma? Okay, so let me know in the comments. I'd love to start this conversation. So guys, these two things are super important. Changing the fear paradigm to trust, and starting to forgive everything and everyone, and cutting those karmic ties. If you're willing to do those two things, you are ready to shift into the new earth. And by doing those things, you start rearranging your light body. You start rearranging your whole paradigm. And the new earth, guys, is happening. It's already here. It's a frequency shift. It's not like we're all going to leave the planet and go to a different planet. We're basically waking up in a different frequency. And yes, we are living the new earth right next to people that are living on the old one. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's just a dimensional shift. It's a consciousness shift. I love how Lori Ladd talks about it in like these bubbles of consciousness. Here's our 3D collective consciousness. And here over here is we're trying to grow the 5D collective. And then there's some of us on the planet that are trying to grow a 7D and a 9D. And all of it, they're not places, they are levels of consciousness. Now this is kind of interesting because I have two teens, and one of my teens, we talk about this a lot, and he's very into math, and he's got this engineer mind, and he talks about dimensions as like in math, as in geometry, and like 3D and 4D and kind of thing. And when I talk to him, he just kind of goes, mom. And so I'm talking about vibrational consciousness, and he's talking about dimensional physical realities. So it's kind of a funny conversation. But the new earth, beautiful beings, is a vibrational shift. And you'll know that you are ready for that shift if you are willing to cut karmic ties, starting with forgiveness, and willing to shrink your fear paradigm and start growing your trusting paradigm. This is key. Now, both those things are challenging, okay? The collective 3D collective is full of fear, right? It's full of karmic eye for an eye, not forgiving, holding grudges, right? That's a lot there. So what I recommend is decording, okay? Literally with your awareness saying, I uncord from the 3D collective. I uncord from that. That's going to make it a little easier to do the work you need to do with the fear paradigm and the forgiveness. The other thing that may make it a little easier to work with these two things is gratitude. Have gratitude for everything. One of my teachers said that gratitude doesn't actually exist on the planet. So it's an energy that's not really on the planet. So when you are being grateful, when you are being that energy, you're being something that's not of 3D. Okay, so be super grateful for where you are, for starting. Okay, look at this fear paradigm. Be grateful for it because it shows you how powerful you are, right? And then just know that you're going to take that power and create something else now. So be grateful for everything. Be grateful for everyone. Be grateful that you have the opportunity to forgive someone. Okay, be grateful that these people hurt you because now you have the opportunity to forgive them, and that cuts the karma and that raises your frequency. How cool is that? So like start to get kind of ninja about what you're willing to be grateful for, right? I'm grateful for this flat tire, like I'm grateful for whatever it is, my teenager screaming at me. I am grateful for winter time, even if you don't like winter, because if you can be grateful for the hard things because it's making you stronger in the light, it's making you stronger and more willing to say, I want to live happy. And instead of complaining about these things, I'm going to be grateful for them because it's an opportunity here. It is an opportunity. All right, so beautiful being, this is just a short little video saying, are you ready for the shift? Are you already shifting? If you are on the precipice of your awakening, work through the fear, get on your forgiveness, and wrap it up in a big bow of gratitude. And what I like to do too is like when I think of cording, I think of everything as vibrational cords. So before I go to bed, I'm always cutting the cords cutting the cords, cutting karmic cords. Honestly, this is what I use. I use something from Access Consciousness. And it's before bed, you kind of destroy and uncreate everything, and that's kind of cutting the cord. So I destroy and uncreate my marriage. I destroy and uncreate my relationships with my kids. I destroy and uncreate my business. I destroy and uncreate everything. And I know those terms sound kind of like, whoa, like that's kind of intense. But what it does is it helps you cut the karmic ties, cut the bondage, cut the form and structure of it, so that you can ask next, now what else is possible? And you wake up in the morning with a fresh slate from where you were, okay? It's not like you have to start all over again from where you are. Now you get to just start, the funnels open for possibilities instead of a closed system, a closed box, and doing the same thing over and over again in your marriage, with your parenting, in your business, right? When you say destroy and uncreate and now what's possible, you open that funnel back up. You open the funnel up from the dense form and structure, and that's a way of cutting cords at night. That's a way of shrinking the fear paradigm. Fear has to do with attachment. You know, like, I can't let that go. I can't let that go. Like, what else is going to happen? How will I survive? How will right? So if you're willing to say, I destroy and uncreate whatever it is at night, and ask what else is possible tomorrow, that's starting to practice that detaching, that you're starting to build trust over here. So be willing to destroy and uncreate everything in your life, and then ask the question, now what's possible? That's how you really get into shrinking that fear, growing that trust, and cutting karmic ties. All right, beautiful being. Any questions about this? Well, what do you know about this? What is the practice you do before bed or starting your day to cut cords or to shrink your fear? I'd love to hear from you. I love this tribe, and I just want to say I'm super grateful for you all, because making these videos helps me solidify the practices that I'm doing. So I'm never going to tell you something that I'm not practicing or exploring myself. And that's why I love this channel, and I love having an audience to share this with, because it keeps, you guys keep me accountable. I'm accountable to shrinking my fear, to keeping forgiveness going, shining my light, being grateful. I'm working on all this alongside everybody else, and that's why I love having this platform to keep me accountable. And more comments are coming through, and it's more of a tribe that way, when we're willing to just share each other's experiences, ask each other's questions, things like that. So thank you for being here. And if you want to head on over to my website, RebeccaAbraxas.com, I've got a free quiz there for you. I'm going to be taking it down soon and doing another offer, so you might want to get on this. I think this is a really cool quiz. It's called What is Your Voice Telling You About You? And it's a cool little quiz that tells you where to focus on your personal growth, on your awakening journey. Where should you focus the most, okay? In the emotions, in the physical body, in your energetics, you know. So how you feel about your voice gives you a lot of information about where to focus. So that quiz you can take for free, and just go to my website, RebeccaAbraxas.com. And that'll be coming down soon. So it's timely. Right now, what is this? October 2021. So you might have missed it. If you want that quiz and it's not there anymore, text me, or put it in the comments, and I will get one to you. I will get that quiz to you if it's not in my website anymore. All right, beautiful being. Namaste, and have a beautiful day, remembering your greatness.